Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio Tuesday morning. You know, the first day back to work after the holiday break for most people like us. It's kind of a drag. You're like, I got to get back into the routine of things. But at least you're not an NFL coach and without a job this morning. Could be a lot worse.
They call it Black Monday in the NFL. It ought to be National Firing Day. There were four who got canned. 2 already had been. There's 6 job openings as of now. Now, there could be more a little bit later on, but, you know, these guys were really rumored to be on the hot seat anyway, so I don't think any of them come as a real surprise. There are 2 that will open my eyes a little bit. One's Kevin Stefanski with the Cleveland Browns. He's a very, very good coach and a knowledgeable football guy, and had the Browns playing well earlier in the, about 2021, in that vicinity. They were playing well, but this is a league of what have you done for me lately? And Stefanski's teams have not been very good, so he was canned. And then Pete Carroll, who only had 1 year with the Las Vegas Raiders. I thought that was a little odd, just 1 year there, but then again, that's the LA Raiders, so anything can happen. One that did surprise me, the year's not over yet. There could be more forthcoming, but Mike McDaniel with the Miami Dolphins. Well, here's a team that's really underachieved, and yet he still is there. And the Dolphins organization still has a lot of confidence in him. I guess they do. They gave him a vote of confidence. So he's still on the job, at least for now. But who knows what might happen as the playoffs go on, and the Super Bowl is history, and long way to go before the draft. We'll see what happens.
Not only coaches, but also OCs and DCs, too, across the league that have probably been moving out or moving up. And the Chiefs and Nagy are out of contract as of right now. His contract's over with the Chiefs. So.
And Nagy has been talked to, or at least requested to talk to him, by the Tennessee Titans. I thought that was interesting. Brian Callahan's out there, so maybe, who knows what might happen.
Got a good relationship with that GM, so we'll see if that's where he ends up and what happens in Kansas City. There are a large number of pro baseball players from Venezuela, considering what's going on between Venezuela and the recent USA situation. What's their thought? They're obviously living in the States right now, though.
Well, it's only a minimal impact. The named major leaguers who you are making reference to do live in the USA and are here. But there are some who are playing Venezuelan winter ball. My old partner on TV, Scott Bales, played a number of years of Venezuelan winter ball. Liked it down there. They had a very good time. And the Venezuelan Winter League is into its playoffs now. Those playoffs were postponed for 3 to 4 days. I think they begin again tomorrow. They postponed them because of the raid on that country. But be that as it may, the impact on the baseball players is minimal now. That doesn't say that they don't care about what's going on. I'm quite sure they do. But since many of them live here in the United States, I think probably you're not going to hear a whole lot of rallying cry from them one way or the other. I think they know where their paychecks are coming from.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. If you're making $20, $30 million a year, politics don't seem to matter that much anymore. We had a chance to meet the new Missouri State Bear football coach yesterday, made a public appearance. How'd that go?
Casey Woods is here. He made his first public appearance, lasted about 30 minutes, and, hey, he's ready to go, ready to ramp up the team, get them all set to go. Woods is an offensive-oriented individual. He comes from Southern Methodist, where he was the offensive coordinator. He's bringing with him his passing coach, and that is the coach who was in charge of the quarterbacks and passing and so forth. And that's where the Bears probably do fall off quite a few notches since the Carroll kid is leaving. Anyway, it was very good, and indeed, I think he's going to do a good job. Bears have a tough schedule. Open up at, good gracious, Texas A&M next September, and all they were a playoff team. Of course, the Bears were at Southern Cal this year. That's the way you want it. You want to be playing the tough teams and get yourself ready for Conference USA. So indeed, he is ready. He knows what's in store for him, and let's go to work and get some wins.
And get some young talent in there and do some recruiting, because that's the name of the game. Championship football last night. How'd that go?
Yeah, this one flew under the radar because the Missouri State Bears are no longer an FCS team. They were FBS, and now that's the first year, or the Bears completed their first year. FCS is Division I AA, and the national championship game was played last night, played in Nashville, the second year in a row that it's been played down in Nashville, and a big crowd on hand because two very attractive teams, one Montana State and the other Illinois State from the Missouri Valley Conference. Missouri Valley Conference has owned the FCS for the last, decade and a half. I think they had something like won 12 of the last 14 national titles. 12 of the last 14. Did not happen last night, but Mike, it was such a frustrating, exciting, but frustrating game. Montana State wins it in overtime, 35-34. And it was a matter of, in a sense, when you think about this, the fundamentals of the game. Toward the end of regulation, Illinois State had a chance to win it. Game tied 28-28. Time is running out. The Redbirds from Normal, Illinois tried a field goal, and it was blocked. Montana State came in, blocked it, and the ball went downfield a long way, and Illinois State was able to get it back, but still. Tie game into overtime. In the first overtime, Illinois State scores a touchdown. Great. Missed the extra point. It was blocked. Back comes Montana State. They score a touchdown, kick the extra point. That's the game. 35-34. Montana State wins it. They are the national champs, ending what really was a pretty doggone good streak by the Missouri Valley Conference. However, count on this: the Missouri Valley will be back in that hunt.
And there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to be drafted into the NFL. From
yes.
They are just a talent factory for the most part. Ned, we've got a number of college basketball teams that are still undefeated. That's pretty crazy to think about that this far into the season that haven't lost yet.
Michigan and Arizona are the top two in the country. Now, there was one that played last night out of those ilk, but the 10th team, team number 10 in America, is Nebraska. Not necessarily known for basketball. They are undefeated. When they took the court last night in Columbus, Ohio, they were undefeated. They are still undefeated. The Huskers outlasted the Ohio State Buckeyes 72-69. And there was another game not involving an undefeated team, but Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans are pretty good. They are a threat. Now, they have lost some games, but Michigan State didn't lose last night. Beat Southern Cal big by a score of 80-51. Kind of a light night for college basketball. There were some other games, but they're of the lesser caliber in terms of headlines. Big week coming up, and it should be just a whole lot of fun.
Always is, and hopefully you can get out and get some basketball action right in front of you. Speaking of which, when are the Bears playing again?
The Bears and Lady Bears are playing again this week in the middle of the week. The Bears will play tomorrow night, and they'll be down in the Atlanta, Georgia area to take on Kennesaw State. Kennesaw is about 25 miles north of Atlanta. And the Bears and the Kennesaw State Ball Club will battle. So will Missouri. Missouri's on the road tomorrow night. They're playing Kentucky. And get this, Kentucky is not ranked this year. What on earth? The apocalypse has happened. The Lady Bears will play here in town on Thursday night. They also face Kennesaw State. So basketball is really ramping up, and the Tournament of Champions is coming up next week. Not this coming, but next week, and that's always a big deal.
Definitely is. And like I said, get out and see it, Ned. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.